if you want to participate in the community fund, effectively, the first thing that happens on the blockchain, at least, is to create a proposal. So when you create a proposal, yeah, cool. We've added a bunch of new RPC commands, which can help manage this from your wallet. So effectively, you can create a proposal. And with that, you specify an address, an amount, the deadline for when the proposal is complete, a description of your proposal, and also the fee that you're wanting to pay. So the minimum fee at the moment is 100 NAV. And this is designed to be an anti-spam measure, basically. So we want to make it a small barrier to entry so that people don't just flood the network with junk proposals, not because that's necessarily, having lots of small proposals is necessarily a bad thing, but it is definitely hard to manage and sort of chokes up the miners who are trying to look at which proposals and evaluate them and vote on them and all that kind of stuff. So this is effectively an anti-spam measure to make sure people have thought about their proposals well and that they genuinely think that they're good rather than just flooding the network. So the idea for this as well is that it might seem like a lot of NAV, and it could be depending on the price per NAV, but what you should do is basically in your amount, you want to include the fee. So if I thought my proposal was going to cost 1,000 NAV to deliver it, I'd actually make my proposal for 1,100, and that way I claim the fee back if the proposal is accepted. And if your proposal is not accepted, then effectively this 100 NAV gets added to the community fund pool. So anyone that wants to make junk proposals can, and it'll end up being a donation to the community fund, which is awesome. Cool. So the basic steps are to create this proposal, and that sort of formalizes the amount. Then this proposal is voted on, and I'll get into the voting mechanic in a little bit. The next step here is to create a payment request. Right, so one of the points of difference between our community fund and some of the others that have been implemented in the past is, well, firstly, the way that we're burning these coins to the blockchain means that we don't control any of it, which is really awesome. And secondly, we've got this two-step process, right, where we create a proposal, and then that's not the end of the story, because we're seeing a lot of, community funds have been taken advantage of by people who have effectively scammed coins out of them. So we've created this two-step process where you then have to make a payment request. So to make a payment request, you specify the hash and the amount. And ID, and that's mainly for your own reference. Yeah. So the way that the payment requests work is that you can do as many or few as you like, basically, but they always have to add up to less than what you asked for. So if it's a small proposal, like I just want to, run a campaign on Google Ads or something like this, and it's really kind of quick to implement, I could request the NAV, and then once it's accepted, I deploy the campaign, and then I prove to the network that I did deploy the campaign, and then would just claim for the whole amount at that point, basically, right? Because the job's done, it was a simple thing, and it's kind of ready to go. For bigger or more complicated proposals, you might actually want to break that into parts. So there can be multiple payment requests made against one proposal. If I was doing something big, like maybe building a website, what I might do is, if it was going to cost, I don't know, 20,000 Navcoin to build this amazing new web portal for Nav or whatever it is, I might ask for even potentially some immediately to get the project going. And then I could come back with, wireframe designs and a sitemap and be like, here's step one, can I have some more? And sort of unlock it on a milestone basis. As you get the designs, you do that, and then you show some MVP pages and whatever, and then eventually the whole thing launches. You make your final payment request because your job's done. So it's up to you how you manage these, but effectively it could be one payment request or it could be multiple. And it allows sort of small and big projects to coexist on the system, and that you don't have to wait for a big project. You don't have to wait till the end because sometimes that could be too financially burdensome. We've already talked about the fee. So even if a proposal is accepted, that fee still goes to the community fund. So anytime a proposal is created, whether it's successful or failed, this amount is effectively burnt to the community fund. And you can increase this fee, and that does have some impact on the priority of your proposal. If there's two proposals competing for the same amount of coins at the same time, then the one with the highest fee is the way that mechanic works. That one will be accepted first on the network effectively. So that's the basics of creating proposals and creating these payment requests.